Buenos días, YouTube. Estoy en Arizona RE. Estamos andando por el centro de Tucson. Espérame. Good morning, YouTube. Arizona RE here. And we're on our way downtown. Got some history to tell you about and some cruising around to do on the old Royal Enfield. It's been crazy windy the last several days. We're supposed to get a big winter storm front move through, rain for 3 or 4 days. Usually get the wind before it starts. There goes a train down there. How do you like that? I know some of you guys like that stuff a lot. Well, for those of you that enjoy trains, you'll get to watch the trains here. I could probably beat the train if I cut down this road over here, went up to, what is it, 6th or 4th, and then went through the underpass. Might get a rev bomb in too. Haven't done that on the Enfield in a while. Ah, here we go. So about the time I would have made it under the underpass, it would have been the end of the train. And here we are in the historic bungalow section of Tucson, Arizona. You guys might remember, I'll go ahead and put up a link, bing, or bing, or bing, or wherever the hell it happens to show up. I'll put up a link to my downtown Tucson vlogs. So maybe you can go back and reminisce about some of these buildings you see here. Oh, that's a cool mural. I think when the sun comes up a little more, I'll double back over here and see if I can't get in on that action. Let me see, where is it? Is that it? Over there? That is it. Looks like I'm going to need to go left. No, that's not an optical illusion. That building's kind of wavy looking. I'm just going to go ahead and jump left. So I wanted to pull up and see if I couldn't park right in front of this building that I wanted to tell you folks about. It's got a little bit of history to it. Hopefully I won't get bothered too much. There are a lot of homeless down here right now. And, you know, it's not a crime to be homeless. Certainly is not. It's a rather unfortunate circumstance. But we have some political things going on here in Tucson where, well, I won't get into it, but many of the homeless that are here are not here by coincidence. I know it sounds like I'm full of conspiracy theories and stuff, but I'm not. Quite a few of them this year were shipped down here because of the Super Bowl. Ah, yes. Here it is. In fact, I'm going to stop right here because there ain't nobody coming. All right. So you see this building right here? It's on 100 North Stone Avenue, and the name of the building is the Pioneer. The Pioneer at one time was the tallest building in Arizona. It was one of Arizona's first, quote, skyscrapers, an 11-story building. And I'm positive you can't see it, but there's this architectural twist going up the corners. And then you see that wide piece up at the top. Now, that wide piece up at the top used to be an open arcade. And this used to be one of the most renowned hotels west of the Mississippi. And And back in the day, it was one of the most famous hotels out west, and it was built in 1929, and at one time housed the largest ballroom in the United States. The largest ballroom. Imagine that, right here in Tucson. Well, in 1970, after a Christmas party in that ballroom, the hotel caught on fire, and 29 people died. Still to this day is the worst type hotel fire in Arizona. There have been other hotel fires, but that was it. I mean, they had people jumping off the roof, jumping out of the windows. They tried to revive it as a hotel several times, but people who went there swore that there were ghosts in that building. And as a result, they couldn't keep it going. So it turned into an office building in 1975. In 1977, they tore down all of the facade, all of the Spanish architecture, and turned it into this to neutralize it. To neutralize what they had felt was the bad effects, the bad voodoo, juju, whatever you want to call it. And we're in the quaint little neighborhoods here in Tucson. So I just thought I would share that with you because sometimes stuff can be weird. I think I just rolled that stop in front of a cop. That's a bad idea. All sorts of cool little storefronts around here, alleyways. It's great to come down here on a Sunday morning because most people are so partied out. You won't have a problem getting around. Right here across from the stoplight, you can kind of see it, but it's called the Fox, F-O-X, the Fox movie theater. And that movie theater was recently rejuvenated and turned back into a theater. And now they do live music there, they do replays of old movies and stuff like that. It's actually pretty fascinating. Here's a homeless camp, and right here they camp out right on the steps of the city buildings. The problem is they're all pooping in buckets and throwing it in the curbs. You see some of them actually have these little structures, and well, I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and get into some of the politics of it now, and I'll preface it like this. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It shouldn't be illegal to be down on your luck. Simple as that, okay? Homeless people, many of them have mental illnesses. And again, it shouldn't be illegal to be about with a mental illness. It really shouldn't. So none of those things I'm saying are illegal. But what's going on here is something a little more nefarious. So every time Phoenix has a Super Bowl, Tucson miraculously has an influx of homeless people. Well, basically, a lot of them up in Phoenix receive a free one-way ticket to Tucson to sort of clean up the streets there in Phoenix and make Phoenix a little more appealing for the Super Bowl going public. And you know, it's been documented, and some of it's the business owners up there, some of it's the city. You know, it's not like they have a direct coffer out for it. Look at this, they gave the crosswalk the right of way, but not my light, so I'm going to go ahead and go. That's the way some of these lights work around here. So that's one thing. And another thing that's going on here is that this is remnants from, 2-3 years ago, that Occupy Wall Street crowd. So they came down and All the hippies on spring break decided they were going to throw a protest on their iPads, and they came down and basically squatted on the steps in front of Tucson City. Which, okay, again, being a protester, not illegal. So what they've done here is they've essentially said that this homeless population that's camping out on the steps is actually a protest, and that in protesting, that means that the city can't enforce their ordinances against blocking sidewalks and camping in public areas, because people have to have access to the public areas to protest. So I don't know. And of course, it's all being funded. They're actually, someone's actually paying to build. Someone's actually paying to build those little structures that you saw there. Little hard structures next to all the tents. So they're actually building these things, and they're bringing food trucks by every day. Now someone's actually paying for this. So in a way it's a good thing, because some people are getting a little bit of shelter and some people are getting food. But I'm thinking, if those that are taking the effort to make sure this gets categorized as a protest, if those that are taking their effort and money to do that would place their effort and money into building an actual homeless shelter, or renting one, or, you know, God forbid, assist the Catholic services, which are right down the street, with their homeless shelter, you could probably afford to actually get these people indoors and fed. But it's all, they're playing politics. And I mean, we see people do it all the time. They play politics with our lives. The only difference here is they're playing politics with the homeless. You know, they're using the homeless to make whatever statement they think they're making. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad because, you know, you and I can avoid politics. I say you and I because chances are, if you're sitting at a computer or laptop or whatever watching this vlog, then you have some ability to remove yourself from any given situation, but the homeless cannot. And so the homeless are being taken advantage of for the purpose of somebody's political effort or anarchist movement or what have you, and their true interests aren't actually being cared for at all. So that's my rant on that. And I'm going to go ahead and let you folks go. That little bit of Pioneer Tucson history. You folks have a good one. I can't always remember where my feet should be. There we go.